The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. Let's talk about it. 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 On the Vera Thomas Show. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
This is the Sandy Rodgers Show on Black On Demand TV, now streaming on Roku, Amazon TV, and Fire Stick. We present our lives, real, raw, and relatable, telling our authentic stories. As we share our authentic voices through the tears and the laughter, our lives are exposed. You'll witness authentic transformations from the once crippling traumas. This is how we survive and we succeed. And remember, it's all good all the time.
Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited to have my guest today, Minister Sandy Rodgers. She is a friend, but this woman comes with so much information, a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of wisdom. Let me take a few minutes and read her bio. Minister Sandy Rodgers was born and nurtured in Watts, California. This is an important element of who she is because this is where she learned about life, values, family, community, friends, and education, all the vital energies of living. While in the process of growing up, she began to receive indoctrination into believing that our existence was not worthy because we lived and had our residence in a place called a ghetto. She actually had no concept of what it meant. Wait a minute, what it was like, what was a ghetto. She had no concept of what was the ghetto. And at the age of 10 years old, when a group of determined youth, all living in this place called Watts, chose to no longer accept this as their only identity. And you know, there is so much more I can share about her, but we're going to talk, and she's going to share her story and all the things that she's done. And so I'm going to give you the floor right now, as a matter of fact. And I want you to start with, what was your childhood like and how did it impact you? And then we're going to go from there.
Thank you so much, Vera. And I am just so overjoyed to be with you tonight. And I know we're going to really have a great time. And once again, my heart goes out to you. So my childhood, as you were stating about being born and raised in the community of Watts, and like I said, they, like I wrote, they did made sure that we understood that we lived in a less than desirable part of the city of Los Angeles. And we, a group of us in that time frame, early 60s, 61, 62, we came together because we knew that we had more power than what people would lead us to believe. And we were so invincible in living the promised life that we know we had, and we found us a an adult that had agreed to help manage and direct our energies in the way to gain as much as we could in that process. And so, what I learned more than anything in my childhood was living by and being controlled by faith, by believing that you can, believing we can, believing that those that have been brought to you are a part of your dream becoming your reality. Then that's all it takes. So it's not all this effort, where you got to build a mountain and like that, but having faith in your powers and what you've been assigned to do in this lifetime. That is the single most important. I was going to say powerful. We can say powerful as well. That's the single most important, powerful thing that you can do, is believe that you can, and let no one take you away from that to knock you off of your core, your center, and believing something entirely different. Because whoever controls your thought controls your life.
Say that one more time. Say that one more
Whoever
time.
controls your thoughts controls your life.
So who's renting space in your head? That is the question.
Yeah,
Who's renting
man.
space in your head?
Exactly. Exactly. I wouldn't allow anybody up there because the price should be so high they can't afford it.
I know that's right. I know
Just
that's
saying.
right. Yes, yes. And one of the things I love about you, you're so positive and you have this motto. In fact, you're known by it's all good all the
All the
time.
time. Yes, ma'am.
It's all good all the time. And even in the I want you to kind of talk about that as it relates to how can we continue to think it's all good all the time when we're exposed to so much darkness. Can you kind of talk about that for a minute?
I sure can, because I was raised in that Leave It to Beaver, the Cleavers, whose mom always had on a starched apron when the boys got home from school, and the boys were always clean and their clothes were always freshly ironed, even after they spent a whole a whole day at school and playing with their friends and stuff, right? So it was truly a make-believe beginning. And when I was learning these different truths about receiving that which you believed, then I knew that it either came as a lesson or it came as a blessing. What we considered a lesson is usually something that wasn't quite as smooth, right?
Yes.
As what the blessing. But you learn more from a lesson than you ever will from a blessing, because that's where your growth is within that lesson. Is buried in there for you to discover it and to strengthen yourself.
And if we can have that kind of mindset when we're going through
Mhm.
adversity and difficulties, and if we can just think, all right, there's a lesson in this. There's
Yes,
something I've got to learn. Even right now, with what we're going through in our country, there's a
right.
lesson in this.
Correct. Correct.
And I
And
think
we
one,
will look back on this and say, and that too did pass.
yes, 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 that too did pass. But right now, when you're in the midst of stuff, if we can just think it's all good all the time.
All the time.
It's all good all
All
the
the
time. No
time.
matter what it is we're going through, it's all good all the time. And
Yes.
Sandy, you have written so many books Oh my goodness. She's written so many books, I couldn't even put them all on the platform. I mean, how many books have you written? What, 25, 26?
27, 27.
27
Yeah.
books.
And I'm working
And
on another one right now.
and that is so awesome. And let me tell you, we're senior citizens, but you're either green and growing or ripe and rotten. And and Sandy is green and growing at the ripe age of, how old are you?
75.
75 years old.
Yeah.
Amazing. And
I'm
I mean,
excited.
and she's still writing books, but
Yeah.
she's doing so much more. You're going to tell us about all this stuff you're doing and intermittent of some of these books. So I'm going to
Okay.
start pulling them up because there's a lot of them. And I want you to kind of share a little bit about each one that I pull up here. And I'm going to start with this one, Being Still. Can you share with us what Being Still? Tell us about this book.
A lot of times we get in our own way by not being patient to allow the answer to come to us, to be guided into what our next movement should be in order to receive the type of outcome that we desire. And so when we can be still and quiet all the talk, all the girl, you know you shouldn't do that. Oh man, can't nobody do that. No, you the wrong this, you the wrong that. And we hear all of this, or we hear it in the music, or we hear it in the news, we see it on social media. And so when we give in to that, and start letting that seep through our consciousness, then we start developing doubt. But
Yes.
when we can stay fixed on, this is for me, this is my assignment right here, and we stay in the middle, in that state of stillness, where we can allow and accept the answers to come in, to flow into us, then that's when we're gifted.
And even scripture says, Be still and know that I am God. And
Yes.
so when you are confused, when things are not going the way you expect them to go, when life is dealing you lemons,
Mhm.
be still and listen for the answers. So this is a wonderful, and all of her books are on Amazon.
Correct.
And also I have up here the link that will get you to everything you need to know about Sandy Rodgers. Everything you need to know. And I have put it in the chat so that you can just copy and paste it and check out everything there is to know about Sandy. All right, so be still, be quiet, and listen for those answers to come to you.
And it
Okay.
may frighten you in the beginning, because we're so accustomed to the yak, 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 yak always coming at us. But that is a priceless gift, that being still. And people may think, like you're really strange, or something's wrong. You're mad at them, angry and like that. Don't give in to it though.
No.
You can always say that you're being quiet. You're choosing to acknowledge the peace and stillness. People may not get it, and that's okay. That's on them.
Yes.
You live your truth and keep on pushing.
Yeah, and there's nothing, being still will also give you a sense of peace.
Correct.
And there's
Correct.
nothing like a sense of peace.
Right. And that's
Now,
the subtitle, Vera. It says being still while sitting in the gap. So that gap is waiting for your answer. That gap is working through your disbelief while you're waiting on this confidence to overtake you. So that gap can be anything in between relationships, or making a decision about what your next position in life is going to be, your next job, what do you want to do with your life, and all of that. That's the gap.
yes. Absolutely. And you've done a series of devotionals
Yes, yes.
from
Just one for each month.
January to December.
Correct. Yes,
And
yes.
I just pulled this up as an example. Now, is that an ebook or is that a regular
That's an
book?
ebook. It's an ebook. Hmm.
Okay. All right. So you can find every last one of them on Amazon from
Correct.
January to December.
Yes.
And you want to check those out because they will inspire you. All right. Now, this one, in the
Mhm.
water. Now, people may not understand exactly what you mean by in the water. I'm going to give you a minute to talk about this because it may seem strange or unusual, but you talk about it.
Okay, I'm gonna say it in the easiest language that I can.
Okay.
So our AMA, American Medical Association, is probably one of the least effective methods, medical methods in the world. And I say that because most other countries have systems, especially like in Asia and places, India and things like that. They know the value in their green herbs, and that herbs will sincerely heal your body of whatever it is you may be experiencing. But for us, for some reason, we have learned very well that everything that we come across, we must take a pill in order to get on the other side of it, which is not how our systems, our bodies were created by the masterful creator. And when we take care of our body temples, then we won't have these various situations coming to cause us any type of problems with sickness, operations, and things like that. And so I love to experiment with things that I'm given to as an alternative methods to wellness, right? And so I was blessed with the knowledge of urine therapy. That's right, urine. That's your urine coming out of your body. It is not the filth, the nasty, the garbage of your body. It's none of that. It has your DNA. It has like 300 plus different minerals and not supplements, different substances that will aid you because it's yours. It already has your stamp on it. It has your DNA. It has all of who you are in your urine. And you can heal your body with that. And you can also regain your eyesight, grow hair, take hair off. It doesn't matter. But I was invited actually to India to come and do a presentation because of my expertise in how I've studied. And this particular book, My Water, talks about it, journals my 30 and 45-day fast with nothing but urine. Sometimes a little water here or there, alkaline water, but for the most part, it was just my urine. But the secret, the magic, you guys, in that is that it wasn't that I lost a lot of weight, because I did. It was what I got out of that in a spiritual way. I became one with all living matter, be it a bird, be it a squirrel, be it uh, a tree, a plant, the earth, the grass in on top of the earth, any of that. It was just all this peace. I was just consumed by this peace. But if I would have never thought about it, if I would have never considered it, if I would have poo-pooed it because of all these crazy things that I had been taught earlier in life, I would have never had that experience. I have learned and studied various, not just one, not just two, actually not five. It's been so many of the different doctrines, the religious doctrines, because I was always looking for this fulfilling promise, of what life is supposed to be. I wanted to experience that within this group of people, right? That I was a part of. And I just didn't find it until I did my first prolonged urine fast. And because of the work that I've done, I was honored with a plaque from the Urine Association in India.
Oh my God. So you did go to India?
No, actually, my nephew died during that time
Oh,
frame, and
my
my family
condolences.
had requested me to come back, and I did that to honor his life. And
Oh, I'm so
yeah,
sorry. But okay, now I'm going to play the devil's advocate here for a minute.
okay.
Now, there are people that would say our body excretes our urine because it's excreting toxins that are in our body. Can you further explain that as a
Toxins
fallacy?
toxins come out of the other end. I don't know how else to say it. That's the plainest I can say it.
Okay.
And um, you can tell the difference. You can actually be in so much communication with your body by practicing this method. You'll know that you've eaten something that was not really of benefit to you because it'll be a little sour. Um, but when you've eaten more alkaline foods that are really about boosting your health, it'll be so pleasant to your taste. You'll be like, oh my God, that was really good. So I've not missed, oh gosh, I think it's been about 15 years now or something.
Wow.
It's been a long time, but I look forward to it. I actually teach the class using one of my books, God's Groceries as Nature Intended. And the urine part, that's the cover of the book. The urine, my urine piece is written in there, and the members of the church are so into it, wanting to know more, because there's scripture that is written, like drinking from your own cistern, and the flow of water that goes through you is from God. So check your scriptures for the spiritual aspects and the reference that is made in there, and
Wow.
it'll all be right there in front of your eyes. And so you get to make your own decision about, is it really real, or is she just making this stuff up? So
Well, I know you're 75 and you have no health issues. So,
mm,
and we know from your in the past you had some serious health issues when you were younger, and we'll talk about that. And I think the fact that you changed your diet, you started, urine therapy and all these different things. And audience, look at her. Look at her. Wait, let me take the book down so that they can look at you. You know, look at her. She's 75 and she's in perfect health and she's not on any medications.
not
And I am convinced this because of what she's putting in her body. And
yes,
so we
yes,
need to take heed to that. And I'm going to bring this book back up because this is a vital book.
yes.
So, can you just kind of talk a little bit more? We did a show when I first started my my show, we did a show called We Are What We Eat.
Mm.
I don't know if you had written this book at that time or not. I don't think this book was out at that time.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But that is indeed the absolute 100% truth. We are what we eat because it fuels us along with providing us all our nutrients. Our organs, they have their own timetable, but each bodily function reproduces itself into a whole new state. And it runs anywhere from, I think, like 30 days to 2 years or something like that. But all of our organs are made new. And so if you're feeding it junk, then it's not going to grow back as healthy as it could if you were eating um, naturally healthy, wholesome foods. And living foods have living organisms in it in order to increase your health, right? And so, what we have, particularly in our environment, again, and I'm not tearing us down, I'm just telling you what the truth is. The chemicals that are being put in our food
Killing
we-
us.
is killing us for sure. For sure.
I think about chicken and a chicken breast. I went to the store, I got a chicken breast, and it was as big as a turkey breast.
Hmm. Say
I
no more.
mean, I'm I mean, we need to be very cognizant of what we're eating. Can you kind of just share with our audience what your diet looks like?
Mostly foods that I grow in my garden, basically. So I do according to the seasons. Like right now, I have kale and collards. Mostly our sturdy greens grow in this type of weather in the colder months, and absolutely wonderful. I just learned how to do carrot hot dogs. Oh my God,
What?
I am in
Wait a
heaven. Are
minute. Are
you?
you said carrot hot
Hot
dogs?
dogs, yes.
Really?
Yeah, you cook them. I mean, you soak them in a marinade and then you prepare them just like a regular hot dog. Oh my God.
What?
Oh, it is so good. You got the recipe is so simple too. It's
Is it
really,
in the
really easy.
book?
It's not in this book because I just
Okay.
learned about it, but
Okay.
you can go online. There's one that's called the really easy or very easy carrot hot dog, and it's just absolutely amazing.
It tastes like a hot dog?
Yes, it does, and you can put all the condiments
Relish?
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my.
oh, it's
And
good, man.
well, I know when I was in Georgia, Sandy lives in Georgia. That's where I met her.
Right,
But she
right.
exposed me to um, restaurants that only had plant-based foods.
Just went to one the other day. Yep, went to
And
Loving It Live. Yeah.
oh my goodness, and I'm telling you, the food was absolutely delicious. You couldn't tell that there was no meat in them at all.
Exactly, exactly. We're just conditioned and we believe everything that we're being told. That's what is so phenomenal about this thing. So when we can get to the point where we can speak life over our own lives, speaking
Yes.
life to our lives, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
back in 98, I had this new medical insurance, and you need to come in and do all your paperwork, giving us all your family history, health wise, and things like that. And so I did. She's like, "Oh, your mom had colon cancer, your dad had diverticulitis. We need to do a colonoscopy." I was like, "All right, So I go in, and then when I go back for my results, she says, well, I didn't know. I couldn't figure out on my own what your issue was with your health. Now, how do you tell somebody something like that, right?
A doctor told you this?
Our doctor.
Okay,
And
okay.
And so I said, well, I'm good, like I'm not having any problems. She's like, oh no. So I gathered a team of top medical professionals here in this company. And what we decided was wrong with you is that you had Crohn's. She said, I don't know anything about it. So if you want to learn what we're saying you have in your body, then you got to do your own research. Here's a pamphlet, read on it, and if this don't answer all your questions, then go to the library and do some additional checking. And I was like, this thing is really crazy because they get you all nervous, and you about to freak out because somebody just told you have something that's deadly. So the pills they gave me made me sick. And I stopped taking them. And I went back to her and I was like, hey, man, this stuff is causing me some serious problems that I wasn't experiencing before. She said, but you got to take them the rest of your life. I'm like, did you not hear what I just said? And so she's going to argue with me that I got to take these pills. And I'm like, all right, so I knew of a kinesiologist in Texas, and trust me, you guys, I had never heard that word before in my life. I didn't know
what is it. What is it?
It's a person that deals with your energy and helping you to heal what's wrong with you.
Okay.
I didn't have to take off my clothes, and every time you go to the doctor, that's the first thing they make you do is strip, right? I didn't have to do none of that. So I was impressed with that, to be honest with you, to tell you. And so anyway, I refused all of what they were telling me, like they were going to have to shoot me directly into my abdomen with steroids, or they were going to cut out part of my intestines, or I could take the pill. But I had to do one of those three things. And so I was like, Doc, don't none of that shit sound good to me, I mean, what, they're going and so the doctor had the audacity to say, if you don't do one of those three things, you'll be dead in 2 years.
And how old were you when that happened?
That was 99. So that was 26 years, 27 years ago. So okay. I've outlived their prediction for my lifetime.
A long time.
26 years, yeah. And so I'm actually writing a book documenting what I did, how I overcame all of that, because it's important for us to take our power back and
yes.
say, I can heal myself.
Yes. And there's a point.
That's not being braggadocious. That's taking your power back.
Exactly. And I'm telling you, when you go to a doctor and they're prescribing all these pills, I think about Aretha Franklin's song, "Don't send me no doctor to fill me up with all these pills."
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, question your doctors. Don't just take what they say as gospel, because do your research.
That's right.
I'm not on any medications either. I'm 72, so we're only 3 years apart. But the thing is, when a doctor has suggested that I need, for example, high blood pressure, they claimed that I was kind of borderline with high blood pressure. So my doctor, and this was when I was in Georgia, my doctor said, Vera, you may need to go on medication. I said, no, you need to tell me what I can do naturally to bring my blood pressure down. And she was from India, and she said turmeric is one of our staples, and that will bring it down. So I started taking that. And the point I'm trying to make is, don't just take what your doctor says as gospel. Do your research. Do and find out what you can do naturally. Contact Sandy. She can help you. She can help you. I'm telling you, she can help you. So so that was one of the health issues that you had.
Correct.
That could have been, and honestly, if you had been taking all those pills, it might have would have been deadly for you.
Right, right, right. Because I did have a situation earlier in my 20s where I was actually misdiagnosed with having, and this was from the doctors telling me I was misdiagnosed. So that's not me, making stuff up here, you guys, uh, with a peptic ulcer. And the medication that they gave me, it literally started coming out the pores of my skin. It was
Mm.
like a thermometer that had burst through the glass, the little gray
Ooh.
silvery stuff coming out of it. And
Ooh.
since then, I, like you got to really tie me down and make me take a pill.
I know that's
But
right.
I believe in my power to heal my body, though, and that's the point. It's like I really have an issue with someone that wants to say the doctors told me I had to take it, but you still have the last say so over your body. We need to stop giving it up so quickly to the doctors, you guys.
I mean, really. I mean, I had another situation where I had an issue with my breasts, and it wasn't. I mean, my mammograms, I have them regular, so my mammogram was great, no problem. But because of this issue, the doctor wanted to do surgery, and I was like,
Mm,
"Oh no, 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 no!
yep,
It's not bothering me. I
yep.
am not going to bother it." So just use your wisdom and
Mm,
common sense and research. Research before you start taking all these medications.
exactly.
And in most cases, you take medication for one thing and it's aggravating something else. And then
When
you
you
have to take
find out, like you say, Vera, when you find out what's inside of that stuff, you'll ask yourself, why is somebody prescribing this to a human being? So I'm just saying, I'm an advocate for us realizing, understanding, and accepting the power that we were given from our birth, from our
Yes,
creation.
absolutely. And I'm pulling this book up again. You guys want to get this book, okay?
It
You
covers
want
the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, the nutritional, and how to clean out your body, because this stuff is just being caked up in our bodies. All this stuff like Vera's talking about, that those big old legs of chicken
yeah,
and the bread, all of that stuff is just lining up our intestines with all of that that's causing us to have the inflammation, and inflammation is the cornerstone of all disease. So,
and the thing is, you again understanding your body and the fact that we can heal ourselves,
yes, yes, yeah.
by eating right,
Mhm.
and I know people say, well, natural foods cost so much.
You either gonna pay now or you're gonna pay later.
Ah, you're right. All right, let's move on to our next book.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we've got The Rose Garden. Tell us
Yes,
about The Rose
right.
Garden.
So the Rose Garden, remembering our beauty in tough times.
Ooh.
Women, I love you. I love you as myself because you are. We take on way too much. We take on everybody else's problems and issues, and then we smile because we don't want to seem like we're the unhappy, overworked individual, because this is what we were put on the earth to do. I do not believe that. I believe we're here to cohabitate with one another, not to take on other people's issues and problems.
Yes.
And so when we can understand that it is not a sign of weakness, but you're remembering your beauty, even if things are falling apart around you, no money, loss of job, whatever, whatever. But when we stay connected to our truth, to our power. Women, we're the ones that bring new life into this universe. We would not have been granted that privilege, that esteem, had the creator thought that we were weak.
Say it again. Say it again,
I love to
please.
talk about this. I swear I do, man. Because
Oh,
everybody around us, you weak, you this, you that. No, baby, you read the wrong thing right there.
yes. And we have no control over how other people relate, react, and respond.
That's true.
All we have control over is how we relate, react, and respond. So, understanding that, why are we carrying the weight of other people's issues?
Because we've been taught that's our job.
And it's
That's
not.
no, not at all.
And so many people get sick
Mm-hmm.
from worry about other people. And
Right.
I'm not saying, and we do have to be concerned about self-care. It is not selfish to be aware of taking care of yourself. That is
Mhm.
not selfish.
Right. Exactly. 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 So I am partnering up with a really, really, really special young lady, Ajay Wura, and we're doing the Women Womb Wisdom. Yes,
Wow.
our womb have wisdom, and so we're coming together. We did our first presentation a couple of weeks ago, and it was so well received that the women and the men that were in the room was asking for additional sessions where this can be discussed in a very open, honest, respectful manner for individuals to come and to learn about the sacredness of their body. So it's going to be March the 1st, and it's in the afternoon from 3 to 5. That's on a Sunday. It's in the East Point part of Atlanta at a place called the DPAC, the DPAC Fitness Gym. And I invite you guys out to come and learn firsthand, have an open, honest relationship. Because just like we were just talking about, we don't have these discussions or, talk truth about what's going on in our bodies and how our inners operate. And so that naturally leads to a lot of misunderstanding. Sexual education is something that most Black families do not talk about. It's as if it's a taboo subject. And then what happens? Someone comes up pregnant, and then that person is a disgrace to the whole family. But no one ever takes responsibility for never having talked to the person.
And this is so important because this workshop is going to enable people to have an open mind about our bodies and the impact of the womb. So
Correct.
that is, and I did put the link in the comments so that you can go to the link, but I'm going to do one better, and I'm going to put up the QR code,
Thank you.
and you can screenshot this QR code. Let me take the banner off so that you can get the full um, QR code. So,
She's so fancy. She know all this stuff, man.
so take a screenshot of this QR code so that you can register for this event. Is there a cost for this event?
No, there's not.
And are you doing it as a hybrid, on in person and online?
Right now, it's only in person because
Okay.
of the sacredness and the privacy of those that are coming out.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where we stand right at this moment. I was
Okay.
just wanting to make sure I was answering your question correctly.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to leave it up for a few more minutes so that you can take a picture of this and register if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area.
Correct.
Even if you're in other states that's close to
Right.
Georgia, you
Right.
want to come to this.
Yes,
And
yes.
you said there's no charge?
Correct.
Oh man, if I was closer, I'd be there.
We got to teach
Um,
each other. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there are other I can't believe how fast time has gone. Let me move this. And one book that I definitely want to bring up, and I we have more. Well, first, before I do that, let me bring this one up so that we can talk about this. This is All My Men. And you want to share with our audience about this book.
Yes, I would love to. When I was growing up, I love to be hanging out with the fellas and, being a tomboy, playing the sports with them and doing all of that. I was never really, the little prissy person that couldn't get dirty and all of that kind of stuff. So I enjoyed playing sports and roughing it up and doing all of like that. And so in that process, I learned this special language that men speak, and they don't necessarily share it with others outside of that that manhood, that group of individuals, and I understand it. So I was never mad or trying to, find my way in. I just happened to be in because of how I related to them as individuals, and so I got the little man code. I may not have gotten all of it, but I got enough of it to be able to talk. And so in this book, I talk from that perspective, and I talk very openly and honestly about what's missing. Because what I found out is that we would castrate our men, just run them into the ground, but we never took account for what we added to the dysfunction of the relationship. And so in that process, what we came up with, so that we didn't have to bear this burden all by ourselves, is that we start saying that all men were dogs. They not this and they not that. And y'all know the words that I can't say
Hmm.
online here, right?
Right.
And so when I first moved to Atlanta in 95, and I was writing back to my family and friends in Los Angeles, and they would be like, "Oh my goodness, your writing is so excellent. I just feel like I'm in Atlanta. The way you keep explaining things, I can find this and see that and all." And so they said, "You ought to write a book." And I was like, "Okay." And I'm one that's really good for taking up a dare from somebody. And so I would, as I would sit there, I'll be like, "So what am I going to write about?" And I was like, "I know we hardly ever have anything positive to say about the men in our lives. I don't care if they're husband, son, nephew, father, stepfather, uncle, granddad. Is always got to be something crazy in the end. We may start talking about how well they took care of the family, but it's not going to be very long before we start tearing them down. And we know that that's tearing down our family unit, yet we do it anyway. And that was just something that always had my mind just going, 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 going. And so this book, there's a mention of over 500 men. Some just have their names in the back of the book. Others, there's some detailed information about the relationship. There is not uno negative word said about any
Beautiful.
man in the book.
That
And
is
that's unheard
beautiful.
of.
Yes, and the thing is, this is such an important thing because women tend to really bring men down. You know, we
Mhm.
criticize them, we berate them, belittle them, and I have seen it in relationships,
Yep.
and it's hurtful
Yeah.
to even see it.
Yeah.
You know, and so we need to elevate our men as we
Yes.
also need to elevate ourselves,
Exactly.
because
And
if
that's
we
what the
elevate,
rose garden is. Yeah.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. So you got to focus on men and you got to focus on women. And then I can't believe we're running out of time.
I
I
know it,
really
right?
can't. Oh my
Right,
God.
right.
Well, I want to pull this up because this was your most recent book. And this book is amazing. And you know, my guest last week talked about his addiction as a result of the abandonment that he felt growing up.
Yes, ma'am.
And so in this book, you talk about the three A's, and I'm going to give you a few minutes to kind of expound upon this.
Okay, so I'm gonna start at the end and work my way back.
Okay.
So this book, excuse me, has landed me a TV talk show on the Black on Demand TV network that is live streaming on Roku and Amazon Fire. So we ranked as the number one talk show for our premiere season.
Ooh,
And so I thank you.
congratulations!
I am just super, super ecstatic because what so these three subtitles, the abandonment, abortion, addiction, they all interlace with one another. And when you first look at it, you may think like, oh, well, no, I don't relate to that. Well, no, I ain't never had that. But you'll understand that our perception of what the words mean is what have us to pull away from it. So addiction could be to studying, it could be to uh, gardening, it could be to good things as well as some of the not so good things. Abortion could be about, you were set on this course to be a professor and everything was going so well and somebody told you something crazy, you believed it, and you aborted your dreams. Abandonment is just feeling, like perhaps you're the middle child in the family of 7 kids and you're the one that nobody really pays attention to. You can feel abandoned in that moment even though your parents love you. So that's not quite where these subjects take you, but I'm just giving you a wider range
Mm-hmm.
of why you may want to read it. And so I was working with a business coach, and I said, well, because I'm a master gardener, I'm a wellness educator. At the time, I was doing radio shows and just really going into a lot of things and learning about different healing modalities that actually do work with some type of long lasting relief to it and things like that. And I needed to find one area to concentrate on for my business. And I was like, well, I don't know because I love doing all of it. And so she was like, no, she said, you got to pick one thing. She said, what about your new book? And I was like, really? I said, I never thought about it like that. She said, that book is dynamic. So what happened with that push from her is I took that book and we did a clubhouse. It started off being on Mondays. And by the time the year and a half was up and we had done the whole book, it grew from 1 day a week to 5 days a week.
Wow.
And everybody that was in there took advantage and brought up what their pains and problems and unresolved traumas were. And that's what is on our show in season 1 is all of those that were liberated from all of that, the guilt and the shame that they felt from what had happened earlier in their life, because
Mm-hmm.
they were able to bring it up. It is just fascinating to me, just absolutely so much more than what I could have ever dreamed would happen. And so what I've learned to a deeper degree is when we can talk about this, when we have the freedom to express those things that have just been weighing on our hearts, our chests for all of our lives, that we
Mhm.
felt half alive, and
Mhm.
now it's okay. It's a life changer. So we call it life raw, real, and relatable.
That is awesome. And when you consider 60% of adults who have unresolved issues, they stem from their childhood.
For sure.
So being able to flush all of that out through this book and through your TV show, that
Yes.
is amazing. Now I can't believe we only have 5 minutes. So I can't believe it. So because this show is called Sandy Rodgers Radio Show and Beyond. So I'm going to give you the floor and have you talk about the beyond. What all is going on with you? And I know you just mentioned your television show. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And just take the floor and share.
5 minutes. All right. So she want me to talk real fast. So one of the things in that beyond is doing that women's womb wisdom, because we were invited to do a special presentation with the Ultimate Wealth Expo, which is the first Sunday of every year, and then a date around Juneteenth. And so, with that experience, people came in and they were so impressed with the naturalness of the explanations and the conversations around what we were talking about with our body parts. Why should we be ashamed of what's been given to us, right? And so that is one of those beyond, because it was never planned. It was never, like put on paper. I want to do this before this time or that time. And other than that, I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm always about experimenting and exploring and helping other people to see their worth, their goodness, and who they
Yes.
are. And so that's what I can say.
Yes, and you're good at that. Being able
Thank
to
you. Thank
encourage
you.
and elevate other people and get them in there to start walking and working in their purpose and their passions.
Yes.
I mean, that is a gift that you have. There were other books that we did not pull up. For example, this one.
Oh, this
Yes.
is the Magnificent Men of Mississippi. I was stranded on the highway between Atlanta, Georgia, and Alexandria, Louisiana. I was stranded on the highway. My dad was mad with me because I was out there by myself and he didn't approve it. And I had no idea how to fix a car. I'm not a mechanic. And these men at this auto shop took such excellent care of me for a day and a half that I
Wow.
had to write to express my appreciation to them. They didn't allow me to suffer in any kind of way. They made sure I had proper housing, that I had been in contact with my family, and that everything was in order before they went home to their families. And,
Wow.
yeah, so yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this is a beautiful book that you might want to consider getting. Again, go to Sandy Rodgers Linktree,
Correct.
https semicolon or colon link linktree linktr.ee / Sandy Rodgers.
Correct.
And it is in the comments, so check her out. I'm telling you, if you want to be energized, if you want to be inspired, if you want to be educated, you need to check out Sandy Rodgers. I'm telling you, she can help steer you in the direction of health and wellness,
Yes.
which
Mhm.
is so important. It is so important. And who better to learn from than someone that's 75 and not on any medication? Come on, be real. Be real. She's
Vera,
doing something right.
I love you so much. And I tell you, this has just been such a thrill for me. And I appreciate you letting me have the mic for this hour to be able to talk to your listeners. Just a wonderful, wonderful platform that you have here. And
Thank
I'm
you.
entirely grateful for being a part of this with you. Yes.
Well, I'm honored that you were here and you are coming back because we're going to spend a whole hour talking about you are what you eat.
Okay. We can do that.
And we're going to spend time with, giving them information, possibly giving recipes, having other people that you are working with
Sure.
in that genre to kind of talk about how can we revive our bodies?
We can do it.
How can we get ourselves together?
I'm working with a couple of people right now. So yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Sandy, thank you so much. God bless you. And you will be back and much success. Let me put this, I know we're running out of time, but let me put the QR code up again for this event that's coming up in Georgia. And this is the QR code. So scan it now. Okay, I'm giving
Take
you
that bottom
time.
part off,
Yeah,
Vera.
let me take this
Okay.
banner off. All right. Scan this so that you can attend this event.
And
Okay?
I look forward to seeing you there. And let me know when you come that you heard about it on the Vera Thomas show. Okay.
Yes, yes. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, well listen, God bless you. Oh, where am I? And we will see you all next week. Let me remove this banner. Okay. We will see you all next week. God bless. All
Blessings,
right.
everyone.
All
Thanks
right.
again, Vera.
You're welcome. Thank you.
The Vera Thomas.